And we are back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Eric Rodriguez, here every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time on the GSMC Sports Network, talking everything, talking everything wrestling. Just to kind of reiterate what we talked about in this show. We talked about WWE SmackDown review. We also talked about our WWE Monday Night Raw preview. So let's go ahead and dig on into our third segment, WWE Money in the Bank. All right. Well, before I jump into that, I want to remind you guys always to be part of the show. The show's a hell of a lot better with a lot of audience engagement. Leave a chat, leave a comment, concern. Like I said, hit up the GSMC Sports Network, GSMCSports.net, excuse me, for the tips and donations if you guys want to leave a tip. If not, if you just want to talk some good old-fashioned wrestling, absolutely 1,000 to 10% free. So, go ahead and, send some chats. Tell me your opinions. And, let's talk about something that we all share passion for is professional wrestling. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about some money in the bank. Money in the bank. All right, we're going to talk about match one. We're going to talk about our the men's money in the bank. The LA Knight against Drew McIntyre, Carmelo Hayes, Chad Gable, Jey Uso, Andrade. I felt like a lot of these superstars kind of would have, they would have all benefited from the match from the get-go. The moment Drew McIntyre kind of qualified, I kind of knew that I was like, all right, Drew's going to find a way to cash in and something's going to happen with Punk in the future. But I didn't think it was going to happen the same damn night. That was shocking, but I feel like that shock factor was ultimately sacrificed a chance for one of these young superstars to kind of go over within WWE. And let me explain that. Carmelo Hayes, super young. There's only like 4 top dogs on SmackDown. This would have been huge. Would have been absolutely huge for Carmelo Hayes. Still too young, I get it. Drafted by WWE Raw from NXT. Maybe, we got to give him a little bit more work. I get it. He did botch a promo against the LA Knight. With the LA Knight backstage about that was like a month ago, I think it was, 3 weeks ago. The LA Knight could have very much propelled his career with a win, but he's also, having this feud with Logan Paul that's been just pushed over and over, on. Even Logan Paul hates the fact that he has not defended his United States Championship. When will WWE wake up and, kind of utilize the YouTube star a little bit more? Kind of utilize his enthusiasm, his charismatic nature, the way he's clickbait. He's clickbait. Any video you post, you're like, oh, let's just, tag Logan Paul. Hashtag Logan Paul. Bam, you get clicks. That's just how it is in entertainment. That just happens. He should fight against the LA Knight. I feel like, they're kind of buttering it up for him to, return to his hometown in Cleveland. It is going to be SummerSlam. You heard it even on himself talking about it in the Impulsive podcast that he hosts, that he's part of WWE now. A lot of fans, I don't know if he so much spoke about people in the locker room, but a lot of fans out there, like WWE fans, kind of doubted Logan Paul's existence within the professional wrestling industry until much recently. He was trained by AJ Styles. He did have a little match with AJ Styles. It was to the point where he was kind of being pushed as a babyface, lost against Roman Reigns. And I think it was, don't quote me on this. I think it was no, it wasn't Clash. No, damn it. Crown Jewel? I think it was Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia. Didn't really work out for him. But I don't know. Logan, I get why the LA Knight didn't win. Chad Gable, I get why he didn't win. Jey Uso was a pretty big favorite. He was a pretty big favorite, but he's going to cash in against Drew McIntyre. I mean against Damian Priest. Would have been all alone against Judgment Day. I would understand why they did not have him cash it in. Andrade, ever since being brought back to WWE, I think I read a post. I think it was Ringside News on Twitter. Said that the same reason why Andrade left WWE for the first time is the same reason why it's kind of happening to him right now, and what happened to him in AEW is he's kind of just left there. He's like, dude, yeah, you're gonna win some matches on SmackDown, but you're not gonna, quite make it up to the Gestapo yet. You're not ready yet. I feel like he could. I feel pretty damn confident that he was ready. I feel like he's, I can't even remember the last time you had, someone from like the LWO or someone from like a Latin American, like, kind of area win the championship in WWE. Obviously, you had Rey Mysterio. Obviously, you had Eddie Guerrero. But I feel like maybe this could have been a way because he's been pretty dominant. Andrade, he's been pretty dominant on his brand. My best bet, my two picks before Drew McIntyre, of course, qualified was Carmelo Hayes and Andrade. Obviously, you saw once when Drew McIntyre, qualified, I was like, all right, this now they're trying to do this poetic justice where he gets his title back, winning the Money in the Bank, but that didn't even happen. They kind of blew it on just them trying to push this CM Punk and Drew McIntyre rivalry so damn much. WWE could have did that without Drew winning the briefcase, but hey, that's just me. All right, next we have Sami Zayn against Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker and Sami Zayn tore down the house. Love it. Obviously, Sami Zayn was in his home country in Canada. Braun Breaker, I kind of knew that he was going to lose. I was, kind of betting on it. I did not want him to win a match so will win the title so quick in his career not because I'm a Braun Breaker hater. It's just because I've seen how Braun Breaker has been portrayed within the WWE Monday Night Raw kind of universe. He attacks people backstage. He performs in squash matches still. Like, nobody wants to see that like him. And by all means, this could, this faults WWE creativity within Braun Breaker. I feel like he could have got a better creative story. I ultimately feel like obviously he has potential. That's something that's not in question. Obviously, he's athletic. Obviously, he could get the crowd into it. As a babyface, I don't know. As a heel, perhaps. Right now, he is sort of like jumping toward that heel role. It's going to be interesting to find out how he addresses the whole Adam Pearce situation on Monday Night Raw. Sami Zayn, he was going to win. I knew from the get-go he was going to win. This was one of those matches where I was like, this is something that I feel probably the most confident about. Is Sami Zayn in his home country retains the WWE Intercontinental Championship. So then we get John Cena. John Cena comes out in a promo, sad and upset that this is the last time now. Whoo, that's pretty big. Gonna save this one for our fifth and final segment, so make sure you tune into that to get more, to get more analysis and stuff like that. And then the World Heavyweight Championship, Seth freaking Rollins, the challenger, takes on Damian Priest, the title holder. And this match, it was good. It was very, very good, but then this had to happen. This had to happen. Then Drew came out, and then CM Punk came out, and it was just like I'm a cook. I'm a cook at a senior living facility. Sometimes when you're making a stew, sometimes when you're making a soup, you're like, oh, some basil, bam. Let's add a little bit of cream, bam. Onion, celery, carrots, mirepoix, like. But then sometimes like you'll add something like that doesn't fit. Like maybe you're like, you know what? Let's spice it up. Put a little cayenne pepper in there. Yeah, it spices it up, but at the same time, you're like, you taste it, you're like, I feel like they tried too hard trying to make this soup something awesome. And, or maybe a little bit too much salt, maybe a little bit too much, chicken bouillon. I don't want to, seem like a dork, but, the perfect wrestling match, the perfect wrestling promo, at least in my field of work, it's kind of like a nice recipe. Kind of a beautiful recipe that once when it's all said and done, you taste it, you enjoy it with a nice glass of wine, taste it, you eat it, and you're like, man, that hits the spot. That's so satisfying. I want to see that happen again and again. But I feel like WWE did try really hard, during this, kind of, like I said, they were, the match was great before the mishaps happened, before, Punk, Drew McIntyre came out. Kind of, I don't know. I don't know. Like I said before, I don't like it that Drew McIntyre won the WWE Money in the Bank. I thought it was poetic justice that he won it, and I thought he would cash in eventually, not on the same night. Then CM Punk got involved. And if for that to end out, just like what happened on Money in the Bank with the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, you should have just gave the briefcase to Carmelo Hayes, Jey Uso, or Andrade. That would have made for way better TV, way better, kind of statistics for WWE. But, instead you kind of saw it go down how it went down. Next, we had Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton wins the Money in the Bank women's ladder match. It was a hellacious match. Obviously, you saw Chelsea Green fall about like 15 feet. She looked like she darn, damn near died, but happy Tiffany Stratton. This is the perfect way to kind of help propel her career. When she qualified for the match, because my money was on Chelsea Green. I was like, this year's Money in the Bank women's title holder, well, no, briefcase holder. I feel like, but then that's just me. I feel like it's kind of cliche for every Money in the Bank winner, either if it's the women's or the men's, to kind of just like be that heel, kind of be that, that kind of, that jerk that was like, oh, I'm gonna cash in, like if you have someone like John Cena when RVD won it, when you had Cody Rhodes, like not Cody Rhodes, but like when you had somebody that like Cody Rhodes win it, they're like, oh, I don't want to cash it in on anybody. I want to, I want to use it to like have a match and stuff like that. But I don't know. I just feel like the WWE Money in the Bank briefcase, favors heels a little bit more than baby faces and stuff like that. All right, sixth and finally, not going to spend too much time on this match because I kind of knew what was going to happen. They need to make Solo Sikoa look strong. They're going to make him look strong, not to like diminish Cody Rhodes, not to, kind of further the bloodline here a little bit. But WWE needs to build up this momentum for Solo Sikoa for when Roman Reigns returns. The match is going to sell more tickets. That's just plain and simple. That's something that this match was. I knew the Bloodline was going to win, not really much of a surprise. What's going to happen to Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens moving forward on WWE SmackDown? Only time will tell. You still need a number one contender for the United States Championship and for the WWE Championship. And this is when I feel like this is going to be a way that we get this Cody versus Randy Orton. I think it's part two. I think they fought, once before Cody left the WWE. But I don't know, I think it's going to be pretty big. I feel like it'd be a pretty nice match. The main event, the Viper, Randy Orton against Cody Rhodes. Obviously, there will be probably some bloodline, interruptions and stuff like that. Interference. I was looking for that word, interference. But yeah. All right, guys. So do not go anywhere. We're going to jump on into WWE NXT Heatwave. So stick with me. We're almost through here. You guys can enjoy your Monday night, catch some Z's. And, I hope you guys are watching Monday Night Raw right now. I can't wait to watch it. It's going to be dope. So, hey, do not go anywhere.